Everybody, just give me a minute here to get the screen going. It seems locked up on me here for some reason. Annalisa, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me show the screen. Let's see.
Hmm.
Is that a me issue? Maybe it's stuck on a different presenter.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
send
I
it
got to
your
make my.
way. There you go. There you go.
That's all right. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about that. You should be able to see my screen now, hopefully. And welcome to this week's conversion webinar. Can you see it, Annalisa? Let's make sure you can do that first.
You are 5 by 5, sir.
Okay, great. Hi, William. So today we're going to dive in on some landing page generator stuff, landing page tips and tricks. I know, Annalisa, you do a lot of this in your weekly trainings with people one-on-one, right? Um, or at least I
Yes.
see, at least I see the examples.
Yeah, well,
So
right. We do a lot of examples on getting that seller lead invitation out there, as well as trying to direct people to different types of content and videos and all that good stuff.
great. So what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to kind of walk through the actual functionality and riff a bit. I have a number of example pages here on the screen. Before you guys ask, yes, these are recorded. They can be found on the facebook.com/conversion/videos. We'll make sure there's a link in this document. I'll also share the document right now with everybody before we get going. Copy link. Having the hardest time with GoToWebinar today. It won't actually let me throw the GoToWebinar thing onto my other monitor. First world problems, right? So, and Annalisa, you can see the doc in the middle of the screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Now,
there you go.
if someone can't see it, make sure that you haven't accidentally brought a tab or a window over what you're currently watching. So you might want to close all your tabs and reopen them if you've lost the page and can only hear us.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to get going. I'm going to try to get around the GoToWebinar thing here. It's distracting for me, probably not for you guys. So let's just jump right in. The landing page creation tool, I'm going to talk about where to find it first. It is in the regular conversion dashboard, it's under website. It's under lead generation, used to be under website, and then build landing page. When you click that, it'll open a page that looks like this in a new window. And then in KV Core, that can be found on the lead engine page. I'm going to do that here. Now, Annalisa, I think I'm correct that this feature is the same in both KV Core and Conversion currently, right? The same tool?
It is the same tool. It's just important to pay attention within KV Core on your accessibility level. So if you're an agent and just have the single agent access, you're only going to be able to choose your own domain of which to create a landing page. However, if you're an admin or a team lead or part of a team, you'll want to be careful on what domain you choose. So like Ryan
Right.
here is part of a business and an agent himself, so he'll have more than one choice. So do you want to
Right.
send them to you or to your brokerage?
Great. And then once you go ahead and start building, it'll build the same tool
Yep.
either way on your domain.
Yes.
Okay. Um, okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do, I want to just show some examples first, and then maybe we'll take a request from the group and we'll build a custom page just to show how it's built and navigate some of the issues. One thing I've added here, I was going to take this out, but I want to I want to bust I want to pick on my buddy Justin a little bit, who built this awesome tool in like a day, like 3 years ago. But there are still some lagging bugs, and you'll see in the notes, and we'll experience those. But a lot of times when you resave the page, stuff will come back, and you also can't go back and edit pages. So what I did was I post a link here. Maybe you guys can go help me out because I really like this feature. I want it to work better. Help me out and go to the ideas and go ahead and vote on the idea. that we should fix it or update it. You think I'm gonna get in trouble for that, Annalisa?
Who is this again? I don't think I know you. No, I don't think
Yeah,
you'll get in trouble because it's something myself I have brought up time and again, and
yeah,
I'm really trying to campaign to get these fixed. I know it's on the roadmap. So I
yeah.
know it's an eventuality. I can't say a timing, but if we get more people to upvote and say, hey, yeah, what about this, fix that, then of course it'll get the product team eyeballs. So
Yeah,
uh,
so I put it in there, and I wanted to get it out of the way up here first. Yes, the landing page generator has some bugs, but once you get used to them, it works very well and does what it's supposed to do. So just bear with it, and I'll try to help you navigate some of that stuff. The big thing to know is that you can't go back and re-edit pages currently, so you want to be careful about that and watch the warning message before you save a page. All right, let's jump in and have some fun. We're going to go to some example pages so you can see what you can do with the platform, and then maybe we'll go build one or two at the end here. So the first example would be a regular lead generation page. So that would be if you come here and it's sort of the default one, it's the first one that comes up, and it looks like this, and it has an email and a cell phone optional opt-in right there. So here's an example of one of those in action right here. And I think I posted this in the Facebook group. Here's an idea where you could offer a free report of some kind. So what I did was 3 ways to finance a fixer-upper and get money for renovations, and then they get a report that talks about FHA 203K and a home style renovation. And you'll see here I also tie in not only the report, you'll instantly receive a complete current list of fixer-uppers for sale in Pinellas County. So what I'm doing here is we're generating leads around a free report, some piece of content, but we're also using the ability inside of Conversion to set a hashtag to trigger that automatic current list. And that's the point I wanted to bring up today, Annalisa, to kind of show people how to do that. I think it's important to know, right? Top these lines.
Yeah, and before you go on, I think it's important to note, if someone's not familiar with what the power of these lead gen landing pages, basically you're saying, hey, lead, give me your email address and click this button. They're going to get the information you're going to provide. However, it also brings them immediately onto your dashboard as a lead. You can hashtag them for organizational purposes. And if you're sending them to information you are keeping on your own website tied to your dashboard, it's going to pre-log them in on the front side. So like in 10 seconds, you've got a new lead. The lead gets the information, and they're pre-logged in if you're sending them to your website, and it's seamless. So it's a pretty dynamic way of generating leads fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's a really big point. That would be a big reason why to use these instead of maybe something like Facebook lead ads, because you are getting them opted in and viewing properties right away, and the system is going to track it. Another point, Annalisa, you're reminding me that I kind of just skipped over the whole internet marketing science behind these kinds of pages. Bottom line, and the thinking is this, for those who don't know, we don't have a lot of options on this page, right? It's kind of poop or get off the pot. You get here, you get hit over the head with a headline, maybe a little bit of supporting text, and you're either going to provide information or you're not. And what that does is you're going to get a lot better conversions on something like this with the specificity that this has than you will on something like this, which is, I'm going to show you my homepage for the site with my stoner picture from last week. If somebody lands here, they have so many more options, so much more confusion. It's just a regular real estate search site where with these landing pages, you can make very specific offers that aren't confusing. It's either do this thing or not. And you can expect to convert somewhere between 15, 25, even up to 40 or 50% on a page like this if your traffic source is good.
Well,
why don't I get that out of the way? Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to say, when you look at when you looked at the template for the landing page generator, when you look at the upper left, it's got the little different templates of which you can choose, but at the very bottom, you actually see live examples of pages your fellow platform users have created. And these give you an idea of what you could create, and it shows you like their percentages of how many leads, what was the clicks per sign-up rate. So it gives you an idea of the power of what these could be.
Great. Yep. Yeah, I forgot these examples were here. And but I know a lot of people get confused. These are only examples. You can't edit them, right?
Right, because if you look at the top right, you'll see reference only when you're looking at the examples. So that means you can look at it, take information from it, but you cannot affect change on it. So it can give you an idea of what you could do and take forward into your business practice using some of those the top templates that we have at the top of that menu.
Great. So my example there was a specific report for a specific piece of content. I highly recommend anybody out there to be doing these kind of offers, and the best way to do them is to put the content inside of a blog post on Conversion because these types of information-based offers with landing pages set you up for follow-up. It differentiates you from the competition. Come up with some aspect of the marketplace that you can be more of an expert on than the next guy, and you're going to have an easier time getting people to opt in for that. And you're also going to position yourself as an expert in that thing. In this case, I'm setting up. I do a lot of lender co-marketing. I'm setting up the pre-approval conversation at the same time we're sending listings. And I got a little distracted. Sorry, guys. I had mentioned that you can set a hashtag and then automatically send the current list of properties. I think it's important we mention that, right, Annalisa, how to actually do that?
Yes,
Here.
it can trigger both a, drip campaign and or alerts separately, depending on what you need.
Yeah, cool. So this is the section, whenever you're building a page, you put a hashtag in, so any tag. Then what you can do, I'm just going to touch upon this briefly now, is you can go to the settings page in your dashboard, and it's the marketing automation stuff inside of Core. But basically, you can trigger drip campaigns based on the hashtag. So, I can create a new campaign that's assigned to the hashtag I'm assigning. And you can also set alerts, as Annalisa just said, auto-assign listing alerts for specific types of leads. So I don't think I can do fixer-upper specifically here, but if this had been like an income property offer, for example, I would have picked income and automatically set them up for their alerts off the page. So, this is one example where you may use this feature to kind of dictate what kind of landing page you build. You go in here and you go, oh, that's cool. I can set up auto alerts for for land, right? So maybe I go and I do offer a list of land on the front end with a landing page. Okay, so that's that. That's a report-based offer. The second offer is that niche property search, which I probably should have mentioned first. It's probably the more common. And there are so many ways we can do this. I talk about this niche-focused property search idea almost every week in these recordings. There's so many different ways to use them, with text reply codes, posting social, all this other stuff. And here it is resurfacing again in a landing page. Pinellas multi-unit properties for smart first-time buyers. And then what I like to do, you probably noticed, Alex, I always get rid of the extra bullet points.
Yes,
right here.
Yeah, I think they're really handy if you've got like an open house coming up, or some type of
Yeah.
lender program information or something. When you just keep it simple for the consumers out there anymore, because our attention spans are so small.
Yeah. Well, confusion is kind of the enemy of conversion. So, CONV, not KUNV. So the less people have to read and digest in their brains, the more likely they are to opt in. This also makes life a lot easier for you, because you don't risk writing words that will turn people off, and that's very easy to do when you're, even for very established and people who know how to write copy, write copy every day. So it's a simple headline, hit them over the head with what list they're going to get. And then the second headline, the only little embellishment here is live in one unit, collect rent from the other to help pay your mortgage. So a tactical trick here when writing copy on these pages would be to say what the thing is and then give the reason why right here, the WIFM, what's in it for me. So on mobile, they're going to read this line and go, oh, I can collect rent from the other and help pay my, oh, this is interesting. You kind of convey why they want to get this list. You see also here in the footer, I've tried to sell it a little further by saying, if you enter your cell, we will text you the best multi-unit deal we know about in Pinellas County right now. I always try to give a reason why they should do the optional sell right here. So 2 tips right there. That's a niche focus page. Again, any search you can run on your conversion site can be turned into a landing page offer.
Right. And the other cool thing here is, as you build these and you start, putting advertisements maybe on a Craigslist, you can also build custom text codes to build these landing pages, because with a custom text code, you're basically grabbing that person's phone number. But if you build in a code to a page like this, your odds of getting that email address that matches up improve. So
Yep.
Just another way of marketing it out.
Yeah, I had this a little further down in the examples, but there is that text template. And I made one this morning just for this webinar. You can go down here, as Annalisa says, and you can do a text lead. And what's cool about this is it pre-fills your smart numbers, so you don't have to go through that effort. And then you just enter the text code that you've set in your dashboard. In this case, this will work, guys, if you want to do this. I just made myself a silly page. If you text this to this, I not only will get your cell number, I will never call you, but I'll also auto reply with a link to where the recordings are for these sessions.
And
So
keep in, oh, sorry to interrupt. I would say keep in mind when these land in that when they're phone only, like when you only add the text lead information, they land within your leads bucket in conversion within leads and then text leads. So it's
cool.
a separate section to look for.
Okay, yeah, so it's going to be, let me make sure I have that right too. So it's under
Leads, third
leads.
section down, text leads, right.
Okay, so they'll be right here.
And you can see exactly what people are asking for when you build these text leads and text codes in.
Cool.
Which is pretty neat.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, I just posted, I had a deal that fell apart, and I posted to the group, and I did one of these text codes, a quick Facebook ad. Probably spent about $10 and got 3. It was like 13. I got 3 text replies here with real cell numbers. So definitely reference back. We talked in depth about this text idea a couple of weeks ago in the recordings, and you can express the same idea in landing pages. I actually just got another idea too. Here, you could take this and screenshot it. Now, not a recorded webinars, but say you had a text code for foreclosures, you can actually take this screenshot right here and upload it with all your Craigslist posts as an image.
That would be great, yeah.
Yeah, so once you make this page, it kind of just makes a nice looking, sharp little image there that you can upload. So yeah, something to consider. All right, so that's the text code option. I'm going to skip up to the front. As I was brainstorming again, trying to think of different ways to use these pages, I remembered the old property tour keys, which personally I don't use enough, and I don't think anybody uses enough, but is a very, 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 very powerful way to generate targeted leads around listings. So I want to show you one of these, and it's going to feature the video tour, the video plus lead option we have right here. So this page where it has a video in it, whoops, I went ahead this morning and go ahead.
Can everyone else hear? Someone's saying there's no audio, so I want to make sure, just see if can anybody else verify they can hear Ryan and myself? Yes. Okay, I'll touch base with Ronald separately.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the GoToWebinar getting bogged down if I do too many things too quick. So we're good. So what I did here was I made a video lead page. Actually, this is fake. I hope my wife didn't hear me trying to sell our house out front because it's not for sale. But just for demo purposes, I stood outside, did a video of the outside of the property.
We may have lost your audio, Ryan.
Oh, okay, I was trying to let you guys hear the video to get an idea, but you can click in the dock to see it. And basically what you do is you stand outside the property, you talk about what's interesting about it, and then you tell them to give their info to see the rest of the property tour. But also promise to give a list of other similar properties. So I think that's a good use of the video lead gen. You can also use this video lead page to just do any of the other types, like the niche focused search. You could just get in front of the camera and say, hey, I put together a list of properties that have been on the market, for a long time. Maybe the sellers might be motivated. Go ahead down below and put your email in. So use it to do video calls to action. And if done right, you can get very high conversions if you're good. If the quality of the video you do is solid. So that's the video lead objective. And then here's another version of that where you can do content. So I have this first-time homebuyers webinar. By the way, everybody here should do a first-time homebuyers webinar recorded because there's so many different ways you can use them and they convert. I use this in a lot of different ways. But here we just replay the actual webinar, and then it's just the next step is to go ahead and enter your email to start the pre-approval process to get a mortgage, just a mortgage webinar. But it doesn't matter. You could, the next step could be, take the next step. It doesn't mean anything. And they put their email and so forth and start the conversation. So different types of webinars content, you could talk about different areas to invest, maybe mistakes that buyers make, maybe tips for selling your home and getting the highest price, and your call to action could be start the conversation now or download a sample listing agreement, something of that nature. So you give the content first and then have them opt in for the next step. Okay. Next, I'd be curious to actually, while it's on my mind, has anybody here done a webinar? Just out of curiosity, if you've done webinars, I'd love to see an example webinar that other agents have done. Maybe we'll do some more content specifically about webinars in the future. But yeah, I'd be curious if you guys want to chat that. So the next example here is a bridge page. Now, in internet marketing, affiliate marketing circles, these are really powerful. It's a technique that's taught a lot. And what it is after somebody opts in for something, instead of taking them directly to that content, right, you give them a different offer that will kind of pull them further into the fold. So on this example page, what happens is somebody, and I can use this as a thank you page for anything, but let's say I built a different landing page for that those multifamily properties that I just showed a minute ago, right? Let's see, this one. I could set my redirect, my thank you page, to be this bridge page. Bear with me, here it is. And basically what this video says is, hey, go check your email for that thing, right? Which I'm going to send automatically from conversion using the hashtag feature I just showed you. But also, what you're going to want to do if you're looking to buy a property is you're probably going to want to get pre-approved for a mortgage. So for anyone out there who's co-marketing, especially with a lender, this is a page you can pretty much copy and paste, do the same exact thing for yourself, and your lender partner is going to be very happy with you. If they're better on video than you are, have them do the video. Just say, hey, I'm Joe Schmo with XYZ Mortgage. I work closely with the real estate agent who just sent you the property list. By the way, I want to get you pre-approved. And this bridge page technique using the video view page is something I highly recommend to everybody. In fact, I've been advocating, and I think it's on the roadmap as well. I would like to have these bridge pages be kind of a native feature, Annalisa, inside of Conversion and KV Core, where you could toggle any lead that comes in and show them some kind of message like this.
I agree. And Tyler had a really good thought of, hey, what about podcast videos? If you're recording your podcast, and basically, as long as you've got your video uploaded to YouTube and you can grab the code, you're good to go for these video lead gens.
Yep. You could, MP3 isn't a bad idea. You could also just offer the podcast recording as a regular lead page. Here we go. Charles is asking for a copy of the page. I'll just share it again for anybody who came late.
And I would think if you had your MP3, you could blog your podcasts as well and even use those links within a landing page or what have you.
Yep. Yeah, pop it into a blog post and then have somebody opt in to get it, right?
Yes. Yep.
Cool. Yep. So that's we had the property tour tease, we did our webinar replay, the bridge page. Everybody start going with those bridge pages. It's a little bit of work, but you'll increase conversions. The other big point about bridge pages, I feel like I say this every day in some form, is that people get to see you and hear your voice and know who you are. And it's really going to help you when they start getting your follow-up emails and your property alerts. They're going to know who you are because they're going to have had some kind of interaction with you. And for anybody who's complaining that they're not getting high enough conversion rates, this is where I would go first. Cool. All right, so bridge pages. Here's a Facebook chat example. So one of the templates is a Facebook chat. I'm trying to find where the builder went. Sorry to click around on you guys like that. Here we go. Okay, let's go back. Ask/create. Right here, there's a Facebook chat option. And you can basically have people click and go straight to Facebook Messenger. And what I've done here is I just say special financing programs for St. Pete first-time buyers. And then it's kind of if it's sexy enough, the headline is intriguing enough, they might say, okay, yes, I'll chat live with an agent now. Now, I'm not sure, you're gonna have to be clever here because You could always just run a Facebook ad and directly link from the Facebook ad to the live chat. But this could work. I haven't tested this, but this is how I would do it. Something very interesting and a reason why they want to chat with you right now. And it'll open up Messenger.
And then remember to check your Messenger for people contacting you.
Yeah, I think most of us now have it on a. I find that it's pretty good. I have it on my phone, but yeah, you're gonna want to check every now and then. And it messages you direct, or it's only for a Facebook page, right? That might be another thing. You want to make sure you put a Facebook page. I don't know if people can just message you out of the blue or not.
Well, depending on your privacy settings as a consumer on Facebook, but I believe they have it so you cannot turn Messenger off per se. You can mute it, but you can all you can do is allow people to message you, and you can choose to respond or not, or block someone. Basically that's what Facebook has decided.
Okay, it's like the other box almost.
Yes.
Okay, and the next kind is the address capture right here. This one I was playing with this morning, and I actually mentioned to Justin, it would be nice. We can't currently redirect this, so all it does right now is redirects to the regular What's My Property Worth page. I've requested that on the roadmap, we make it possible that somebody can just give an address, but then redirect it anywhere they want. So let me just say it and show you what I mean. But if you want to build your own sort of seller squeeze pages here, you can do that. They would enter their property, it will auto fill it. And then it's always going to go right here for now. There are some offers you can make, though. It's not the biggest deal because you've already collected the address. You could say, I'm going to riff on this live, Annalisa. Maybe we'll come up with a great idea for seller lead gen. Let's do.
I've got an idea, but
Go ahead.
Well, I know Shane Campano had shared a really neat trick with me, or not trick, but tip. Basically, it was like taking and it was the lead gen one, but it would work on this as well. But basically taking the address of a home you just sold off of our listings and saying, like, this home at this address sold in this amount of days, this much over asking, etc. Find out what your home is worth. And then targeting within 2 to 4 miles around that particular address to target those neighbors to try to get more listing appointments or excitement or homeowner information. Right, exactly, something like that, because you're speaking to their area, their community, and so forth. And then you can target it as a boost or on your advertisements via Facebook Ad Manager and so forth. And it's especially great is because now we have that market report that you can drop in that zip code. So if these come in, you can connect them to that market report in Conversion, which is in the works for KV Core.
Yeah. Yeah, so as they come in, so see recent sales transactions near your house and get a free weekly update. We didn't say any specific area, and now when they enter this in, they're now going to have a second step. I'll just put something random in. You have a second step. It's what it's worth, but then in the email you can send them, a hello message, right. And you can set them up by hashtag for auto alerts based on where they are. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. So there are possibilities there. I would like to be able to redirect that anywhere I want, say to a bridge page, for example, where I get to say, hey, cool. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to send you an email with all the latest sales. And now you can click the button below and go on to check your value. Just a little extra step in there. So, yep. So that's the address type. The contact. The content hijack, I'm going to touch upon real quick. I think this one, it's a tough one for me. I don't know that we're going to get a lot of ROI on using this. I don't want to discourage its use, but it's a little advanced. And basically what it is you offer people something. So the best example I can think of is, say we're driving traffic to a list of income properties or land. And we know we're targeting local people in our area, but we also want to recruit rookies into our real estate company. So what we do is we drive them to this page first and says, before we continue, would you like information about starting a real estate career? If they hit yes, it goes over to our join page. I put the wrong URL. It's supposed to be recruit.php, but you guys get the point. Drive them to your conversion recruit page or other recruiting content you have, or they can say no thanks and continue on through to the initial stuff they were looking for. So that's sort of, it's called a content hijack because there are a lot of interesting possibilities there. You could, go post in groups like a link to a news article that's local, but I'll hit them with a real estate offer beforehand. And the way you're going to use that is you're going to put the URL here. The URL that they're looking for, URL they want, and then the URL you want is basically the thing you're trying to distract them into before they go to the next thing. Laura's asking a good question. The potential lead has to enter the address twice then with that address only. Yeah, that's a little bit of my objection with the way it currently works. You're going to collect the address, but they're going to be asked to do it again. It'd be nice to give them something in between, have a little more control over that. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get that done. That'll be on the roadmap. Okay. So that's that. Alex, have I forgotten any specific page features or types that you wanted to bring up?
No, but I think I'd like to just walk through just like the little top tips on creating it, because like when I create them, I would say you need to do it methodically and thoughtfully. Right. So like on the lead gen, which is the first one that he just clicked on the top option there, in landing types, it's important to fill out the submit button text because that's what fills in the orange button. And there's no save button, so when you click outside of these fields, that's what cements your content into the page you're creating. So when he types in see the list now, clicks outside, it lands that text on top of the orange button. The URL after login is where do you want to send people once they click the orange button? So it could be any link that you've created. It could be a squeeze page, single property, multi-property, a blog link, a link to specific zip codes in your areas, what have you. And you can drop that in there.
So this is my favorite deal. By the way, this is my favorite offer right now. Some quick links that could find you a great deal. So I'm going to build a squeeze page for this. Oh boy, too many tabs, guys. I apologize. All right, so then we're going to put the URL after login. This is what we're going to take them to after.
Yep, and then just cement it in. You click outside the box, and then you skip hashtag, and you do that last across the top.
Okay.
Seriously, that's what you have to do. So then you can go to the background, and we have a lot of static backgrounds we apply that gave you, or you can customize your own background by dropping a JPEG that you have permission to use or own that you have uploaded in as a custom background.
Yep.
And it'll drop into the back, or you can drop in an MLS number, and we'll actually drop the primary image from the listing in the background, which is pretty handy when you're doing like an open house or a single family home for sale or something of that nature. And then once you have all of that set, then you can loop to hashtag and you just type in the word. You do not need to put in the actual symbol. It needs to be a minimum 4 characters and cannot start with a number.
Cool. So I wanted to copy. And the reason I care is because I'll probably use this. So St. P. And this hashtag, again, can drive a lot of marketing automation on the back end. So that's why I'm making sure I choose the right one now, because I do actually have a drip campaign set up for this offer already. Yeah, so once you've got your top section done from left to right with the button text, link, background, then hashtag, then you can work into the body of information. Yep. I'm going to, just 1 second, I'm going to make a custom background with my own image and show a little hack with that. And then we'll continue through. So I'm going to go to Google Maps, one of my favorite things to do, and just, well, here I am. I'm already here. I'm going to pick the satellite view. And then I'm going to copy the image. But the reason more I want to show this is just so people know how to get a custom image in there. And you use what, Screencast-O-Matic, is that right? So. No, for screenshots, I use something called Lightshot. Oh, that's right, Lightshot. So there you go, everybody, Lightshot. Yep. And then the easiest way I know of right now to get an image online so that you produce the URL that conversion requires is Imgur. So I'm going to use imgur.com. I have a link to that in the document. And then once I do this, I can right click, copy my image address. It's an image hosting site. And then come back here. And when I go to custom background, I now have a URL to enter.
I don't think it was a JPEG ending.
Oh, it has to end in JPG?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know what I did. Here we go. I probably somehow copied the actual page address. Custom background.
That should work.
Yeah, the PNG worked. Yep. So next thing I'm going to do is I like to get rid of, I just want to talk about this. I like to get rid of the logo. If you're doing Google pay-per-click, you're probably going to want to keep the logo. They like to see that, but I like to get rid of it because it's less likely to scare people away. It's totally up to you.
Well, and keep in mind also to follow your local rules and regs from your MLS on logos and things of that nature.
Yep. And to get rid of the logo or to get rid of any section, you just double click on it like this. Double click, double click. So same. All right. The word deal is very powerful in real estate lead gen. And then we'll just do closures, short sales, price reduced, motivated sellers, and more. Work?
Looks good.
And again, we'll text you the best deal we know about right now. It's a nice clean page. You know, you could then take this and buy a custom domain like stpeterealestatedeals.info and again, put that in your Craigslist post, even though it's not clickable, you know, and advertise that vanity domain and banner ads, things like that, you know, and drive traffic through this to generate leads. And then I just saved now, right?
Mm-hmm. I think your bullets are going to come back after you add the hashtag again.
Yeah, so this is some of the bugginess we were referring to. Yeah. So I'm just gonna have to double click. Okay, and now I should be good. I'm gonna click save. It's gonna give us this big notice that tells us you can't. Did you write this?
I did not. But basically, it's just saying, hey, heads up, we don't save it.
Yeah.
Bookmark it. Now, what I have done is I've created Google Sheets, and I suggest everyone else do this as well, because if you create a Google Sheet, it travels with you on your mobile device. And you can say, this is what it's for, this is the link, and then you can come back and use that link again and again, because it's always going to update the most live content we can possibly pull if you're sending information like listing alerts or, you know, property information. Yeah. So I would definitely save those on a Google Sheet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Landing page here, email, cell phone, see the list now. Okay. So I think we've hit on a number of the intricacies. Also, I wanted to get that tip in there about how to do the background image. You know, you need an image that's living on the web somewhere that you're allowed to use. Yeah, that's it.
If you could pop to the video one, and then we can just show how to add the YouTube video link in, because that kind of bungles people up from time to time. Definitely. Because there's like a spot to put your YouTube video, but it doesn't take the whole link, right? So there's just a little finessing you have to do there.
So let's do a crypto video.
I mean, I don't know what that is, but he looks, you know, I don't know.
This guy's great. Crypto for the people. It's a great channel. Cool. He's just entertaining. But anyway, that's not what we care about. So we want to put a video on this page, and what we need is the video ID. So let's see. If I go to video plus lead, right here it says YouTube ID.
And when you're setting these up, it's important to go submit button text. Well, we'll get back there.
Okay, sorry, I dropped
that's all right. You. That's okay. So it'll be button text, URL, background, YouTube tag. It's a little different, but it just yeah. But when you put the link, the information in, it'll drop, or just the code only part of the link, it drops the video in. If you put the whole link in for YouTube, you're going to get an error message.
So it's the part after the V. This is a parameter. Question mark V equals. V is the parameter. So you just want what it equals, the part after the equal sign. Now,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you'll get, I've seen people do this, you'll get some extra parameters in here, like, so I, you know what I mean, gobbledygook, from YouTube, depending on how you got to the video. You just want this part right here, between the equal and the and sign.
Yeah, and if you use the little, like at the bottom right-hand side of YouTube, right, just like where it says right above subscribe 20K, there's a little share button.
Yep.
You can also just grab the everything to the right of the /.
Oh, good. Great point. That's a little easier, actually. Yep. No, we pop it in here, and that's what gets your video on the page.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so we had some miscellaneous tips. We talked about Imgur. Definitely MLS numbers it'll make your custom background the main picture of the house. That's really useful. I like to get rid of bullets and stick to shorter copy because less can be more when it comes to conversions. And I just want to mention, and I was just having a conversation in the KV core group with somebody who was using ClickFunnels. So it was funny because I just made this doc, and there are third-party softwares out there where you can build landing pages, and I just have some links to my favorites. And the reason I bring them up is if you find that the current landing page generator is too limiting or you want to do more stuff, you can because of conversions integration with Zapier. So Typeform, for example, is, oops, I think I'm logged in. Let's see. Typeform is a really good form generator that will give you lots of flexibility on surveying questions you can ask. I wanted to show an example here where yesterday I was running a Google campaign to this offer. And then I can click, and Typeform lets me do lots more questions. And I'm bringing it up because all of this stuff can be pushed into conversion via Zapier. You know, I could even push in a hashtag. I can put all of these responses into a note. So there is a lot of flexibility with what conversion can do if you don't want to, if you're not, just say you're not happy with the landing page generator, you're finding limitations. The other one, we have Lead Pages is very popular, and ClickFunnels is very popular. So I just have extra links there. And then I had a bonus content link. I actually did this right after this was launched a couple of years ago, Annalisa.
I remember this was huge. This was a really popular training.
Oh, was it? Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So what I'll actually do, and there's docs there. So there's probably a lot more examples in there, and this is me walking through all this, basically doing the same content a couple of years ago, and I'm sure there's a bunch of different examples in there as well. So, yeah, go ahead.
Well, Julie'd like to see how we create a Google Sheet. So if you could open up a new tab in Chrome and just show where those box of 9 are at the top right. It's usually just on the top right-hand side, just like a little square of 9 boxes. Good. And if you click on the 9 boxes, just to the left of your photo in Google. There you go. See that little 9-box square? Yeah, click cool. There. So that opens up like all of your Google products you can use, and then you can open up the sheet from there, or you can go right where he did to the drive and create a Google Sheet.
Sorry, my computer's wigging out here. Won't let me click the box. Here we go.
We have the technology.
Right. Yeah, so, all right. So drive, right, and then you will click new, and then sheet.
Right. And I would always create like a column for what is it for, who does it go to, and what's the link. And that way, if I was kind of thinking to myself, what is it? Oh, it's Wednesday at 10. I'm supposed to post this listing for da, 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 da. So you can kind of work out like a go-to on lead gen for the day or the week or the month or the quarter and help maintain all of this information in front of you.
Cool. Yeah, it's also good to track your spends and everything too. You can have a column for traffic source and what results you got as well. Mm-hmm. Another question, I think I'm missing something, was the hashtag sending to your clients. So, oh, you responded. Okay.
Yeah, and basically what I would mention to Teresa is like the hashtag, and I'm sure she knew this, but you know, your client doesn't know they're being tagged. They have no idea that contact, but it comes into you and you have the ability to then organize them with a hashtag in your system in KV Core and Conversion, either the Smart CRM or via the hashtag folder. And then also you can set up that hashtag to trigger drips and alerts. So there's lots of functionality within a hashtag.
Yeah, and let's bring this up again, because this is probably one of the most powerful things you can do with Conversion in terms of marketing automation, where you attach hashtags to drip follow-ups. And in the deals example here, I have a text that goes out automatically. I have a special email that goes out right away. And you'll see here we're sending I can even send a webhook now. Right, we've talked about that. Let me get rid of that actually. And you can basically set up your follow-up. I offered a weekly list of deals. Now I have every 10 days or so that same list going out, as we talked about a few weeks ago in an earlier session. So the landing page can be sort of the start of a fully automated funnel that ties the capturing of the lead to the conversion of the lead. And all you need to, it might take you a little time. You might struggle. You might spend a few hours getting it all set up. But once you do, you can then turn traffic on and off and control the flow of business coming to you once you have a winning campaign. And there's a lot of clues, guys, in these, in these webinars. If you see me posting a deals offer or the income property offers, the fixed flip stuff, there's a reason why, right, Annalisa? This stuff just plain works. Those kinds of offers, yeah. So.
And I mean that's one thing. And you're a user and a trainer, and I was a user before I was a trainer. So I think if you kind of sit back and let Conversion do the majority of the legwork for you, which it does with drip campaigns, behaviorals, and alerts, you can then start sending added information, customer service driven things, properties they haven't seen, program information. And then you can build in targeted audiences with your landing page generators to even gain more of that stuff in your pipeline. So it's pretty dynamic.
Yep. And I'll just mention, I'm pretty busy. I don't practice a lot, but just on the first 100 leads I put in, since we started doing these, there's a lot of activity, and there's between 3 and 5 live buyers right now that I've handed off to other guys locally here. So if you can just build, the moral of the story is if you could just pick one of these ideas you're seeing, maybe build one landing page, find a traffic source, and stay very consistent about putting leads in through that funnel every day, you're gonna be happy with the results.
And Dwight's saying, hey, where should we post these ads? And I'm thinking like, well, at Facebook at minimum, your timeline groups, business pages. I mean, you've got free social media. You can get your paws on like LinkedIn, Twitter, and then you can look at boosting and using advertisement managers and things of that nature. Where would you go with these things, Ryan?
Yep, that's going to depend on your budget. So there are free and paid ways. If you're on a budget and you're going free, I would be posting properties to Craigslist every single day and adding a vanity domain that redirects to one of these capture pages or to a squeeze page, meaning something like floridarealestatedeals.com that then forwarded to a capture page. Put that URL everywhere you can. Craigslist, and then I know a lot of people like to spam Facebook groups. Go ahead and try that. I don't like it. Another free method would be to do YouTube videos and then have do an overlay, same idea in your YouTube videos. See a list of Florida real estate deals right now, redirect to the landing page. For paid, you're gonna have Google and Facebook pay-per-click, which we've talked about a lot over the previous weeks, and I'll just reference the recordings for those. So that's facebook.com/conversion/videos. And I think, Annalisa, in the deals one I did, there's a pretty comprehensive walkthrough on how to do a Facebook ad. And I'm planning either next week or the week after, I want to jump into Google and show everybody how to use Google. Yeah.
That would be amazing. I think Google AdWords is kind of a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a puzzle for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's actually there's an earlier. I can give you an earlier session I did with Ben, PPC director, who's a friend of mine, probably about 2 years ago, and we talked about a condo campaign. I'm going to give you guys the link right now. Just give me.
Which one are you looking for? Oh, that one.
Yeah. I'll give this link to everybody right now. This still works. This week it's working. What we talk
And
about in this video.
yeah, there's another really good one on within the trainings, and I'm going to grab the Wistia link right now. But we did a really good webinar last year on Google AdWords as well. So I'm going to grab that video and pop that in there as well.
Google AdWords, put that in here. Now, Google AdWords with landing pages, it's been interesting lately. I just showed you guys a Typeform one that's really kind of thin, doesn't have a lot of content. What I'm seeing, and I just got off the phone with Google about an hour ago on some mortgage stuff, they are allowing thin pages, meaning pages without a lot of content, as long as there's a legitimate business behind it. That wasn't really the case 2 or 3 years ago, but you can get away with, here we go. You can get away with, as long as there's other stuff sitting on the domain, which there will be if you're using the landing page platform at Conversion, they might approve a very thin page like this. And this particular one in the last few days is doing about $8 a week, to give you an idea. To major keywords like St. Pete real estate and so on. And there's going to just be a lot of intent with this kind of lead because they're on Google searching rather than being interrupted on Facebook. So maybe we're going a little further today, Annalisa, and we're setting things up for next week with Google.
You know what it is? It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger.
There you go. I would, if you want, all right, so to answer the original question, if you want leads that are in market to buy today, Craigslist for free, Google for paid.
Yeah, definitely Google over Facebook on that, yeah.
Yep. So that's it. If there's no other questions, are there? We'll be back. Somebody's asking if there's another webinar Tuesday. They are every Tuesday at this time. And topic should be Google AdWords. Now that we've let that cat out of the bag, that's what I'm going to commit to.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, I guess that wraps it up. We'll go ahead and get this formatted. I know Ryan will post it on our Conversion business page. We'll also post it within the groups. And thanks for being here, Ryan, and thanks everybody for attending.
Yeah, thank you too. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.